Have you ever dreamed of sipping wine while watching the sunset over rolling vineyards, knowing your pension stretches twice as far as it would back home? What if I told you there's a place where this dream becomes reality for thousands of retirees every single year? Welcome to Nouvelle-Aquitaine, France's best-kept secret for retirement living that's about to change everything you thought you knew about your golden years. Picture this. You wake up in your charming stone cottage, the morning mist still dancing over endless rows of grapevines. Your monthly budget that barely covered basics back home now affords you fresh croissants from the local boulangerie, weekly trips to bustling farmers' markets, and evenings spent with fellow expats who've discovered this slice of paradise. This isn't just a vacation fantasy. It's the daily reality for thousands of retirees who've made the bold move to southwestern France. But here's what nobody tells you about retirement in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. While everyone's fighting over overpriced retirement communities in Florida or Arizona, smart retirees are quietly building extraordinary lives in a region that offers something those places never could. Authentic European charm at a fraction of the cost. We're talking about a place where your dollar stretches like rubber, your stress melts away like butter in a warm pan, and every day feels like you're living inside a postcard. Let me paint you the full picture of why Nouvelle-Aquitaine isn't just another retirement destination. It's a complete lifestyle transformation waiting to happen. This massive region, roughly the size of South Carolina, stretches from the snow-capped Pyrenees Mountains all the way to the wild Atlantic coastline. Imagine having the freedom to ski in the morning and surf in the afternoon, all within the same region you call home. The numbers alone will make your head spin. We're talking about housing costs that are typically 60 to 70% lower than major American cities. That 3-bedroom house with a garden that would cost you $500,000 in California, you're looking at maybe 150,000 euros here, sometimes even less in the rural areas. Your grocery bills drop by almost half. Restaurant meals that would break the bank back home become weekly treats. And don't even get me started on the healthcare system that puts American medical care to shame. Healthcare in France consistently ranks among the world's best, and as a legal resident, you'll have access to this system at costs that will make you question everything you thought you knew about medical expenses. Prescription medications that cost hundreds in America often run just a few euros here. Doctor visits are affordable, specialists are accessible, and the quality of care rivals anything you'd find in major American medical centers. But let's dive deeper into what makes this region absolutely magnetic for retirees. First, you've got Bordeaux, the crown jewel that needs no introduction. This UNESCO World Heritage City isn't just about wine. Though, let's be honest, having access to world-class vintages at local prices doesn't hurt. Bordeaux pulses with cultural energy, boasting world-class museums, theaters, and restaurants that would make Paris jealous. The public transportation system is so efficient that owning a car becomes optional rather than essential. Then there's the Dordogne, often called the heart and soul of French countryside living. This is where fairy tales come to life, with medieval villages perched on cliff tops, ancient castles dotting the landscape, and rivers so pristine they mirror the clouds above. The pace of life here moves at the speed of wine aging, deliberately, purposefully, with respect for tradition and quality over quantity. The climate situation alone should have you booking flights. While your friends back home are battling brutal winters or scorching summers, you're enjoying what meteorologists call an oceanic climate. Mild winters where snow is rare, comfortable summers cooled by Atlantic breezes, and sunshine that averages over 2,000 hours per year. We're talking about a place where you can garden year-round, where joint pain from cold weather becomes a distant memory, and where seasonal depression is practically unheard of. Here's where it gets really interesting. The expat community situation. The expat community situation. Unlike some retirement destinations where you're thrown into the deep end of cultural confusion, Nouvelle-Aquitaine has developed thriving international communities over the past 2 decades. We're not talking about isolated foreign enclaves, but integrated communities where French neighbors become genuine friends. Local traditions become your traditions, and the learning curve feels more like a gentle slope than a cliff face. The practical aspects that nobody talks about but everyone worries about? Let's address them head-on. Healthcare in France consistently ranks among the world's best, and as a legal resident, you'll have access to this system at costs that will make you question everything you thought you knew about medical expenses. Prescription medications that cost hundreds in America often run just a few euros here. Doctor visits are affordable, specialists are accessible, and the quality of care rivals anything you'd find in major American medical centers. Language barriers, the elephant in every expat's room, become surprisingly manageable. While learning French obviously enhances your experience, the established international communities mean you're never truly isolated. Local businesses in popular expat areas often have English-speaking staff, and the French appreciation for effort over perfection means your attempts at the language are met with patience and encouragement rather than judgment. Transportation infrastructure deserves its own spotlight here. France's high-speed rail system means you're never more than a few hours from Paris, and budget airlines make the rest of Europe your extended backyard. Want to spend a long weekend in Barcelona? 2 hours by train? Feel like exploring the German Christmas markets? A short flight gets you there. Your retirement becomes a European adventure rather than a sedentary retreat. The cultural richness that surrounds daily life here operates on a completely different level. We're talking about regions where every village has centuries of history, where local festivals celebrate everything from wine harvests to medieval heritage, where museums house treasures that would be crown jewels in American collections. Your retirement enrichment doesn't come from expensive classes or activities. It's woven into the fabric of everyday life. Food culture transforms from necessity into pure pleasure. Local markets become weekly adventures where you develop relationships with vendors who've been perfecting their craft for generations. The concept of seasonal eating stops being a trendy diet and becomes a natural rhythm of life. When peaches are in season, they're so perfect they hardly seem real. When mushroom season arrives, local forests become treasure hunts guided by generations of knowledge. Let's address the financial reality that makes all this possible. Beyond the obvious cost savings, France offers tax advantages for retirees that can significantly impact your bottom line. Property taxes are generally much lower than American equivalents. Many retirement incomes, particularly from pensions and certain investments, receive favorable tax treatment. The result? Your money doesn't just go further, it works smarter. The lifestyle transformation extends beyond mere cost savings into something more profound. Stress, that silent killer that plagues American retirement, seems to dissolve in the French approach to daily life. Lunch is a proper meal, not a rushed sandwich. Evenings are for walking, conversation, and genuine relaxation rather than mindless television consumption. Weekends become adventures in discovery rather than chore marathons. Social connections develop naturally through shared interests rather than forced activities. Wine tastings aren't tourist traps, but genuine social events. Hiking groups explore trails that have existed since medieval times. Book clubs discuss literature in settings that inspired the authors themselves. Your social calendar fills with activities that feed your soul, rather than just pass time. Here's the reality check that separates dreamers from achievers. Making this move requires courage, planning, and realistic expectations. The bureaucracy can be challenging, cultural differences are real, and some days you'll miss things about home more than you expected. But for those who take the leap, the rewards extend far beyond financial savings into a complete life renovation that makes retirement feel like a beginning rather than an ending. The window of opportunity for this lifestyle remains wide open, but smart retirees are already claiming their spots in this European paradise. Every month you delay is another month of overpaying for a lifestyle that pales in comparison to what awaits in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. Your golden years don't have to be about making do with less. They can be about discovering how much more life has to offer when you're brave enough to write a completely new chapter.